Hi golfers, Nick here from GOLFTEC Singapore. It's Friday, so welcome to another lesson on golf tips. This week in golf tips, we're going to help you golfers out there that struggle to make consistent contact and they struggle for distance. So one of the biggest issues I see at GOLFTEC are golfers that flex their arms in the golf swing. So for today's video, we're going to talk about the science behind keeping your arms straight and then show you guys using the motion numbers here that we have at GOLFTEC, show you guys how you can move your body differently to help keep your arms straight. So the golf swing is a circle and the left arm and the club, they form a radius of that circle. So this is my left shoulder here, the left arm and the club, this forms a radius of that circle of the golf swing. The radius is a point formed from the center of the circle to the circumference of the circle. So this is basically the radius of the golf swing. We call this P1, which is the setup position. So if you watch how the club moves in the backswing here, the left shoulder is actually going to move downwards on this trajectory. And then as I get to position 2 here, this is where the shaft is parallel. You can see the club is starting to move around the circle. By the time I get to position 3 here, it's continued to move round all the way to position 4, which is the top of the backswing. So the club is sort of orbited sort of on a semicircle here. As I come back down, we're going to get to position 5, then position 6. Position 7 is impact. Position 8 was when the shaft is parallel on the way through. And then position 9 is the finish. So what you'll see on the way back down is that the club will complete the circle. So you can see there the club has pretty much done a 360 there. It's very important that in the golf swing, to be consistent and hit the ball a long way, we want to keep these arms straight. So today I'm going to share with you a really good way to move the body to help keep those arms straight. So for today's video, we're going to take a look at 2 different swings. My first swing will be my normal golf swing, where I move my body in a normal way and my arms will stay pretty straight. Now in the golf swing, there will be some bending and straightening of the right arm in the backswing and then into the downswing and follow through. And there will be some flexing of the left arm in the finish as well. But the point being that the elbows aren't pulling apart in the golf swing. Talked about how the left arm and the club form a radius. Now, if I start flexing my elbows, the club pulls in towards my body. That disrupts the radius of the golf swing. In my golf swing, I'm going to try and keep the distance between my forearms and elbows constant throughout the course of the swing, and that's going to keep the radius intact and going to help me make consistent contact. The worst golfers, they've set the radius at address and they start flexing. They're pulling that apart. It makes it so hard to make consistent contact. So for today's video, I'm going to hit 2 shots, one with my normal golf swing and one where I flex my arms. Now, the biggest reason that I see golfers flex their arms is because in their swing, they start to sway and maintain too much forward bend in the backswing. Forward bend is keeping the chest downwards as you swing back. And the best golfers, they extend in their backswing. This helps them keep their arms straight. So if you're one of those golfers that tends to stay too much forward bend and sway the head, and then as a result flex the arm to get the club round, then this is a really good feeling for you. You need to try and feel that as you swing back, your chest points upwards, your arms stretched as much as you can. So you're trying to extend the spine and push away with both hands to try and keep that radius intact. And it's the same in the follow through as well. The highest handicappers will stay bent forward and flex the arm. So we're trying to again extend the spine and push the arm straight. So let's hit a couple of shots here, and we're going to look at the motion numbers of the shoulder bend just to give you guys a little bit more of an idea. So my first shot will be my normal golf swing. So pretty standard shot there, pretty good contact. Felt like I was extending my spine and really stretching out in the backswing, and the same in the follow through. We'll look at the motion numbers in a second. The second one here is going to be me swaying in the golf swing, staying in too much forward flexion in the back and follow through, and as a result my arms will be flexing. So you saw that shot there, right at the bottom of the golf club, because my arms were flexed, I wasn't keeping that radius intact. So let's sit down now and take a look at the motion numbers of my shoulder bend between those 2 golf shots. Just before we take a look at the 2 swings here, we talked earlier about how the left arm and the shaft, they form that sort of radius from the left shoulder. Basically, we talked about how the swing is like a circle. So we want that radius to stay intact the whole way through the golf swing. Now both setups here are the same, so I'm bending forward 48 degrees. Just watch what happens. This left hand screen is actually the one where I move into staying forward flexion and start flexing the arms. Just watch what happens as I get to left arm parallel here. So on the left hand screen, when I'm staying in more forward flexion, you can see the arms are starting to bend. So the sensor on the back of the shoulders there is pointing down 44 as opposed to 13 on the right hand screen. Now the green number is around the tour average, red is obviously a long way from that. We're like 30 degrees difference there. As I keep going, you'll see on the left hand screen my arms continue to flex and I continue to stay in forward bend. So by the time I get to the top of the backswing here, which is the point where I've rotated the most, you can see I'm 31 degrees forward on the left and 0 degrees of bend on the right hand side, which is the tour average. So on the left I've stayed in forward flexion and the arms have started to flex, which makes it really hard to control that low point of the swing. I see a lot of golfers in this position at the top of the backswing. As I come down here, you'll see our arms are still flexed on the left. On the right they're straightening a little bit more. So by the time I hit the ball here, I actually have more forward bend on the left hand screen. So on the left my arms are flexed more and I still hit the top of the ball even though I leant forward more to hit it. So I'm trying to bend more forward to hit the ball, but because my arms are bent I'm still hitting the top of the ball. So even though I'm closer to the ground than I was where I started, these arms are flexed and that's pulled that radius away. So that's why I'm sort of hitting the top of the ball here, not keeping that intact, whereas this one my arms are staying straight here all the way through into the follow through. So even by the time I get to just past where the right arm's parallel here, you can see I have a backward bend on the right and a forward bend on the left. And as I continue forward, you can see on the left, huge forward bend, 18 degrees, compared to 39 degrees backward bend in my normal golf swing. So like I said to you guys earlier, in the golf swing you want to try and feel like in the backswing you extend the spine and stretch with the arms, and it's the same in the follow through. You want to try and extend the spine and stretch with the arms. That will just keep that radius intact and help you guys hit better golf shots. So golfers, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't already, please follow me on my other social media platforms, and we'll see you again soon for another video on golf tips.